So today, I would like to share with you my research on writing as an image, a comparative visual study of Bété and Chinese script. So, okay, we have, okay. So this work sit at the intersection of visual study and typography and design research and is proposed to look at writing not as primarily
Oh,
as a language, but as a visual and cultural system. So the open question is, what if writing is not only language? What if writing is also image? Uh, Usually, we approach writing as a system that record speech, but before we read writing, we see it. So the key idea, writing is also the image, the gesture, and spatial organization. So here we have some image of Bété script and Chinese character also. The visual perception. Before, as I said, before we read, we see. Before we decode, we perceive form. So the research question is, can writing system be studied as a visual thinking system? Writing involve seeing before decoding, form organized through visually. Writing structure, perception, and memory. Writing system are visually thinking tools. Um, Case study. So this presentation compared two scripts, Bété script, uh, invented in Côte d'Ivoire and Chinese characters. So actually, when we see at the first approach, when we see the both script, they are they unrelated because of they separate according to geographically they're so far from each others. So the script they are not how to say nothing in common when we see but when we go deeper and when you look visually we can see some how to say similarities. So research, my research method. This research combine visual analysis and script, historic context, design experimentation, typography, prototyping. Uh, why this comparison? So as I said already, at the first glance, geographically distant, historically unrelated, culturally also different, but yet comparable visually. So uh, right now we see the part two, writing as a visual thinking. Writing as a visual thinking. So writing beyond language. Writing is often described as a system for recording speech, but writing is also structure, visual perception. Visual dimension of writing. So writing includes stroke. So here we have an image of Bété script. So we can see the visual dimension of writing with Bété script here. So we have stroke, we have balance, we have read, we have pardon, spatial organization. So writing also has a visual thinking. Writing system organize terms visually. The structure, how information is perceived. and remember it. Okay, for this research, we have some some theoretical, sorry, theoretical perspective. Yeah, this idea relate to research by Walter Jones, Jack Hoodies, and Mitchell. So there are some people that they are doing some research about this concept as a writing like image. So the key hypothesis: script are not neutral containers of language. They are visual thinking tools. And here we can see one of the quote by Walters. He say writing restructure consciousness. So my accent is more like French than English, but I hope that you can get me. And yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I continue the part three, cultural context. So as I said, China in Côte d'Ivoire, we can see on the map. The Côte d'Ivoire is a small country. You can see China, a big country, and also distant, very distant country. So they are too distant. So I decided to work on that on the above script. So Chinese character or Chinese script from East Asia writing system is one of the oldest continually used writing system. So we can see some image and that script is used since many time. Uh, and now we are Bété. Bété is from West Africa, from Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire is in West Africa. And that script has been invited in 1976. So the script is how to say is remain under documented. Is remain also is a dangerous script because we still have no many people who use this script today. So two different system. Chinese is a most holographic system, and Bété script is a syllabic system. So Bété is use syllables in this system. So despite differences, both rely on structural structure, internal composition, and symbolic form. So we see more deeper some of the particularities, some of the similarities between the script. So, but before that, it's very important to talk about the personal context. Why I decided to study to make research on the Bob script. Um, the first thing is that my interest in the script come from my encounter with Bradbury. Bradbury is the inventor of the script, on Bété script. But because I'm myself Ivorian, and Bradbury also is in Ivorian, and also my study in China. So here we can see in 2009, I met Frederick Bradbury. So this is me, and this is also me, and this is also me. So I met him twice at his home in Côte d'Ivoire. At that time, Frederick Barbary was so famous as an artist because he was also an artist, and it was very famous. And for us, we were, how to say, we want to know why this art is so famous because so we arrange a meeting at his home to see what is actually he was doing. So I was with one of my friend and I had the opportunity to meet him. And then year ago, I had also the opportunity to go to China to study, and then so that is some images uh, of me in China, my graduation. So the two experience allow me to work on that script. That is very important for me. So when I was in China, I started to learn Chinese Mandarin. And when it was about to choose a topic for my thesis. I was thinking about a topic about China or about my country or Africa. So at that moment, I start to realize that in my country there is a script, and even met the inventor. So I start to my research on the script. So I always say that Chinese bring me on the script or this bring me on Chinese. So it's a kind of relationship between. Okay. So the visual structure of writing. So writing has a form, what we see before we read. So when we read, when we see a writing, we see a form before uh, even we don't read, we don't know how to read, but we see form. And after we try to understand what does it mean that form. So writing as a form, uh, visual element of writing. So when we see writing also, we see a stroke direction for instance, on this image, we can see stroke direction, line, weight, a balance, density, a rhythm. So, and also the stroke logic. So when we see writing, we are also the stroke logic. So can be understood as a movement, as a gesture, as also as a energy. So a Chinese stroke tradition. So Chinese calligraphy is based on controlled movement. So when we see this picture, is we can do that form, that writing when we have a kind of how to say uh, when we can how to say we can know how to do. I mean, so how to say is many different movements to allow us to do this. So the Chinese stroke tradition. So and then also when we see BT script, we can also see a stroke. Can see also stroke structure in BT. We can see some character in BT. We see different movement, different form. So for me, BT also has uh, a structured stroke. Now we just talk about internal composition as both as Chinese and BT script also. So internal composition, each character functions like a small visual architecture. You can see on that picture at the left Chinese script and at the right BT script. So we can see like a kind of small visual architecture. Also, elements interact through balance, tension, and proportion. When we see the kind of balance we see on that image, the kind of symmetries on that image, that is very important. Also, microarchitecture. Writing can be understood as a microarchitecture of a sign. There is another element too, repetition and variation. So both in writing, in Bété script and in Chinese script, we can see the repetition and variation. Writing system rely on repeated visual pattern and controlled variation. And we can see here also visual system. The script functions, the two script function as a coherent visual system. So when we see a text written, we can see that it's not just people want to play, but that's that's that is how to say that function has a coherent visual pattern. So we can arrange different stroke, different movement to be able to write something that means something else. Okay. And I just thought about repetition. When we see here the first image on the buff, um, is a Bété script. So we can see that we have some pattern or we have some stroke that from which the holder's character is formed. So both in Bété and Chinese script, we can see that also. So when we try to write something, we begin to write a one of the stroke, and then can use this to write another script. So in Bété, that can be seen. In Chinese, this can be seen also. This is a picture from Bété. We have a kind of repeated element too in Bété. For instance, in that picture, we can see that the first one, when the character is alone, that mean that the singular, the singular. But when the character is we have two character, that's mean plural in Bété. That is like uh, okay. So but Chinese character formation, cultural context. So I will talk about the cultural context, but also I will relate to PT script also to see again some similarities between both scripts. Main category. So Chinese pictogram, also ideogram. When we see many years ago, Chinese characters was more pictogram and ideogram before they evolved to the form Chinese are now. So also we have some kind of associative component pattern. So we can see this also this kind of associative compound also on Bété. You can see in Bété that we have some script when we just use the two script to find another script. So that is something like you can see also in Bété script. Derivative characters and also pictographic law and character. There is some forms there. Okay. And in BT also we have a kind of derivative character. So one leg and two leg, and also we can see on the at the bottom, yeah, at the bottom we have some characters that derivate from another character. So that's also something that we observe in China, in Chinese pattern, Chinese character, and that is a kind of of similarities that I just want to show. And yes, about the repetition here, we can see the repetition here according to Bété script. Okay, so after this kind of comparison, for me is okay, but the main objective of this comparison is not to establish a genealogical connection on suggestion direct inference. Instead, it seek to create a visual dialogue between two systems that are rarely examined together. By doing so, the work contributes to shedding light on Bété script in the dynamic of its promotion and preservation. For me, is a way to promote Bété script. Bété script is not very well known. So by doing this kind of comparison, I just want to give a kind of light to Bété script and to say that there exists a kind of in Africa and West Africa a script called Bété script. It's not the same, but like Chinese character, but that script is also a very good script that we can use some people can use and that script need to be to be how to say to need to be encoded, yeah, because the process is still on the way, but we don't know when finally the script can be encoded, but that is a long process and that is a long process. Okay. Um, if writing can be understood as a visual thinking, then the work of Frédéric Barbé become particularly fascinating. So after that, I will talk a little bit about Frédéric Barbé. So Frédéric Barbé is the inventor of this writing system. So it was an artist, poet, and thinker. So he's still an artist because we say that people who are die are not die, something like this. So he's still alive because of his work. So he's still alive. Okay, so according his life on March 1948, Barbary experienced a vision that transformed his life. So Barbary had a vision. From this vision, he started to record, he started to observe everything around him, and he started to transcribe that uh, as a drawing to record the memory of his people. So you want that the memory of his people to be preserved. So Babu start to draw he start to draw everything around him. He start to represent the world through his eye, but really simply. When we see the draw of Babri, it represents the world very simply. And draw as a writing. For Babri, when he draw, is a kind of writing also. So for Bradbury, in the how to say in the perception of Bradbury, writing is also an image because when he draws something for him is a kind of writing. So writing and image are linked for him. So as on this image, we can see when he drew pardon something, he simplified it, and then you can see the character. So Brabe start to draw many characters, and then he create the BT script from so then create BT script and we can see on that image each characters is related to the object of related to the to one idea to one concept from his language, the Bété. So Babis simplified the concept, and that become like a pictogram. And so then you can see uh, there is a draw and there is a this simplified symbol to become the Bété script later. So we have some kind of that's why I say that for him, drawing and writing are really linked because writing is a continuity of drawing for him. So local logic. In Bété sign, Bété character, each sign refers to an element of everyday life. So here, that is the letter that mean A or A. So it draw this and then simplify to to have the sound A. So we can see the simplification. So drawing and writing is linked. Drawing is a is an image. Yeah. So we can see many drawing from Frederick Blue Bubble. And drawing was really important for him. So I just said that I wanted to know why this artist was so famous because he drew this kind of a draw like and like a like an how to say like an a kid, because for him he wanted to simplify or to represent simply the world, and that make him so famous, I think. So here, that is a kind of draw or Bradley. Drawing was so linked to to writing. Even when he start to draw some scarification on the face of people, for him is a kind of writing for him because the kind of identification, scarification in Africa or different different countries, a kind of identification because we can identify some people through this clarification to the signs on the face. So, um, part part eight, design perspective. So why this matter for design for me? Why this is very important for me? That's this study. So study or take image as writing is important to understand script visually better. Understanding script visually is important for typography, visual communication, also cultural preservation. So for me, I'm working on I'm trying to preserve some script like Bété or other script that I'm here to design. So this kind of studies is important for me. Design experiment. So the beta script give us a potential for experimentation. So I will show some kind of work on poster and branding in visual system. So for me, that is a part of my work too, to preserve, to promote, and also to share the work. So here we have a prototype of cat game. I'm still waiting the best. I'm still waiting how to say uh, the support to produce this is still on the prototype. So since many years, this is on the prototype. So I really want to be able to produce this and maybe to share with people. And so. educational design. So the card game prototype for learning about the syllabus. So this is the same after typeface design. So um, this is my process in designing Bété script, and then since uh, 2021, I start to work and design a Bété script in different way. So these are some of my work I'm doing, and I'm still experiment Bété script in poster design and different way. So we can see different kind of work, and for me, it's a way to give light to BT. And I'm also teaching BT in typography and graphic design to my students, because for me, it's a way to promote it. Uh, so here we can see, and even some people today try to use BT in fashion design, for instance. For me, it's a good way to promote BT script by using BT in different way. That is good for us. And also here is a poster design that I made, uh, and I continue to do experimentation. Yeah, that is poster design with BT. That I'm using this to share word, share good word, for instance, um, positive word in BT. For instance, when we see the how to say the red one, the meaning is dre in Bété. Dre mean the heart. The heart is like dre Bété. So for me, is have to a good heart is important. And after that, life. That means life. So sometimes I try to modify to I try to give how to say to make it more interesting, to allow people to know more about BTSK, because I think when people see that, oh, that is good, what is this? And then people come to be interested and to learn more about the work. So for me, it's a good way to promote the script. And also, and this is yes. Okay, this is part of my experimentation with this script. So in conclusion, um, before the conclusion, I think application for research. So this study contribute to visual study and digital humanities and research on individual writing system. It also argue for the value of design-led research methodology when making a drawing as a part of a knowledge production. So new approach are necessary to fully understand writing as an image. Final idea. Writing is not only a system of sign, but a system of image through which culture finds. I just how to say let you know about the work of Blue Babri. So for him, is a way to find, is a way to express his culture about a writing system, because Bété script is based on uh, the culture of Bété from Côte d'Ivoire. Each character is a kind of cultural thing from Bété culture. So by keeping this character, by keeping this this keep alive is a kind of preserve the culture of British people, the culture of Côte d'Ivoire. So thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.